Hey, welcome to Tuesday Talks. Even though it's Thursday. Yep, getting so much better at this. No, I honestly was going to skip this week. One, I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and two, I knew that if I did talk, I would not be in a good mood, and I wanted to make sure that I wanted to keep these upbeat and positive. That's not me though. I can't, I think that seeing that I'm not always the best is good for people, I guess. Everybody struggles. So yeah, it's been a week, ups and downs. Not like the worst week I've had in a while. I just am so drained. Emotionally, physically, everything. I took a nap yesterday. I never take naps. So I skipped 3 classes today. Not my favorite thing in the world, considering I have 6 or 7 classes a week. I don't know why I'm so drained. Not like anything terrible has happened this week. I've been very hard on myself today because I skipped 3 classes, that I am being lazy. Chat, I did a ton last week. Not only on YouTube, I streamed, I did 3 shorts, one of them being music, which is super hard for me to do, and I did a video. I haven't done that much in a while, and it really showed in terms of support that I've gotten. And I thought I was gonna ride off that high of support and be able to do that weekly. There's ups and downs. There is ups and downs. Last Sunday I could not do anything, and that made it so that I didn't have anything prepared. And I just slowly was like, I can't do anything, I'm not doing anything. But that only is when it comes to YouTube. Because I did other things. I did spring cleaning. I cleaned so much, chat. I vacuumed. I got cobwebs from when I moved into the apartment a year or 2 ago. I did a lot. My apartment is way nicer. But my mind is just like, no, you haven't done anything all week. You're unproductive. You need to do things. No, I did a lot. That's half the reason why I took a nap yesterday, is because I did so much, chat. But my mind is like, no, you didn't. I also have been doing good in terms of just other things. I've been making progress. I made a friend, chat. Another friend. I haven't done that in a year. Everything points to I should be happy or proud of my progress. But my mind is like, no. I tend to just reject everything that is against my beliefs, in terms of this core belief of I'm not good enough. I'll give an example. I was talking to this girl on campus, and she got a text that was like, oh, I saw you on campus. I was gonna go talk to you, but you were talking to this person. And then they're like, who was it? Because they're really cute. I'm like, me? Cute? No. But everyone that I talk to says I'm attractive, which is weird. It's weird for my brain to comprehend that. I don't get it. So it's my brain is you're not attractive, but everyone tells me I am. And the same with productivity, where I've had people be like, Soul, you do so much. And I'm like, but I don't. I don't know if anyone else has days like this where you just do not do the things that you wanted to do, or you just have no energy. But my brain is always yelling at me to I have to do something to make up and make sure this day isn't wasted. But I can't do anything. So then instead of resting, my brain just beats me up for not being productive. But it's okay to not be productive. our society and ourselves just like, we think that our worth is tied into what we can do in terms of anything. Like, I'll give one really good example. I don't talk to my parents about what I do online and stuff. So a lot of the times my parents are like, oh, what'd you do today, Sol? And in reality, I like edited for hours. I maybe streamed for hours, maybe worked on a song cover or something. But I just say like, oh, I did homework, or I didn't do much. And my dad's like, oh, well, you need some of those days. But in my mind, it's like, if I like don't tell him that I did something, I feel like I'm less than, or that he's going to judge me, which isn't the case. Like, I know that's not the case. I think it's also hard to, I've seen this with people who have health conditions too, because I know a lot of people with chronic health diseases. And if you guys don't know, I do have a disease that I can't exactly ever get rid of, and it affects my health as much as I hate saying that it does. Everyone who has chronic health problems that I've met and talked to overworks themselves in many ways. And I think it's because there's like this societal stigma that you almost have to like prove that you're not just a burden on the resources and that you provide use to society, which is bullcrap. I think that that's dumb. But it leads, like, I know people where they can't hold a job because it gets to a point where they physically cannot move without needing all the pain medicine, and even then it's hard. And they, you know, go ups and downs of like forcing themselves to have a job, hating life, and being in so much pain physically and mentally, just because it's like, if you don't get a paycheck by the end of the month, then you're like not as good of a person, is what society like teaches us. But it's like, they don't have to deal with that pain and issues. That's true for chronic and like mental health stuff, where it's like, yeah, some people can wake up, go to a 9-to-5, come home, have the energy to do other things. But some people, they wake up and just getting out of bed exhausts them more than like the other person's 9-to-5. We need to stop comparing ourselves to others, which is very easier said than done. Just remind yourself not to judge your worth by what you can do that day or what you should do. That's a big thing, is when you have these down days, it's always, what should I do? What can I do to make up for lost time? And just allow yourself to be, you know? I skipped classes today. That's it. I'll deal with that when I can get to it. Can I deal with that now? No. Will I be able to deal with it in the future? Probably. So give yourself some bandwidth today to not be okay. Eat your ice cream, treat yourself. Make sure to just not be as hard on yourself, because the world kind of already does that for us. So I was 2 days late on my Tuesday talk. Whoopsie doodle. I'm just glad that I got to film one. I hope that this helps. Remind yourself that it doesn't matter that you can't do what other people can or what you normally can today. One thing I do on days like this is I usually try writing to-do lists, but I notice that like most of the time I can't do all of those things. So what I do is I write down everything on the to-do list, and then I cross out 2/3 of it and say I'm doing that later. That way, you know, instead of 6 things, doing like 1 or 2 things is a successful day, you know? I hope you have a good day. Don't let things that happened at the beginning of the day ruin the rest of it. I hope you have a good rest of the week. And like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm contractually obligated to say that as a YouTuber. And see you next week. Bye-bye-bye.